ChicagoSlim coming with the win. Super Puppy Podcast, Super Puppy Podcast, the best podcast, Super Puppy Podcast, the best. This is Super Podcast, Puppy Podcast, the best podcast. Better than the rest, Super Puppy Podcast. Bust your shots in your ass, Super Puppy Podcast. Don't sleep, y'all.
Welcome to the latest installment of the Super Puppy Podcast. I'm your host, Tony Minor, aka ChicagoSlim, and the name of this episode is the Overachiever. I mean, naturally, it should be the name, right? I battled with a few names, but this show is great. We have a super guest. He's very popular in the DC scene. Please give it up for Martin Amini. Yay! Martin Amini, aka the Overachiever. Welcome to the show.
Thank you, Tony. Thank you for having me.
Thank you for being here.
Yeah,
I'm really excited. Yeah. Sean's in the house. Can we get a what up, Sean?
What up, Sean?
You gotta go say what up?
What up?
Thank you. Okay. So, Martin Amini, we got a few things to talk about.
Okay.
The Overachievers comedy show.
Yeah.
The Overachievers podcast.
Right. Coming soon.
Coming soon because it's going to be as hilarious, if not more hilarious, than Super Puppy Podcast. Your background, Bolivian and Iranian.
Yeah.
I mean, that's
All
not...
facts.
No, it's not important, but we want to bring that up. You've been doing big things for Comedy Central.
Yeah.
Opened for Trevor Noah.
Right. Yeah.
Hassan Minaj.
Right. Yeah.
Not related to Nicki Minaj.
Not related.
No. Does he have a big butt?
This is all Daily Show correspondence.
So he must not have a big butt. I mean, it's flat ass.
Yeah, I'm not gonna speak on another man's ass. You know what I mean?
Wait, that was a test. That was a test.
Wait, 10 seconds in.
Right.
About this man's ass. So, by the way, Martin, we know you an overachiever, but how do you feel about this man's ass?
Right. You're able to speak just
Is this a setup?
Okay, my bad. Take it back. Okay. DC Improv.
Okay.
Regular there.
Yeah, my home club.
Kennedy Center.
Center.
Like
Favorite
singing and comedy, or just?
No, it's been just straight showcase shows at Kennedy Center. I'm
Yes.
like a regular. I've been very fortunate. I've done 4 shows there in the past 2 years.
That's awesome.
Yeah, man.
Winning over here. Look at that shirt, you guys. Can you see his shirt?
It says more wins.
More wins.
Yeah, shout out to Jaime for the design.
Yeah, I need one of those. More wins, no losses. Okay. Caroline's on Broadway.
Right, New York,
The Comedy Store.
LA.
Big stuff like Laugh Tracks on True TV. That came out in January.
Did that.
So what is that? Tell us about that.
Laugh Tracks is a new show on True TV that was created by a gentleman by the name of Bob Sumner. For those who know who Bob is, he's the co-creator of Def Comedy Jam back in the 90s.
Oh, okay.
So he decided he wanted to start this show, and he last year, summer of 2017, he traveled across the country looking for new young comedic talent.
Fresh comics.
You know what I mean? So he came to DC, and they held some auditions, and I was one of 3 comics selected. It was me, Kason Wilson, and Tim Miller.
Oh, boom.
So they flew us out to LA to tape. The concept of the show is it's a stand-up comedy show mixed with sketches. So it's like, yeah, us performing and then the voiceover, and then they actually hire actors that act out.
Your jokes.
Yeah.
Oh, I love it.
So
I love
They
it.
selected my ice cream truck turf war joke, you know what I mean? I did that at the audition, and I got off stage, and Bob came up to me. He's like, "We're gonna be in touch, young man." Oh my God! He gave me his card, and
And then you framed it.
yeah, it was a wrap. You know what I mean? Yeah, it's on my desk.
Oh, that's dope. So make sure you check that out, you guys.
It's on YouTube. Yeah, you can actually watch my episode. It's on my YouTube. Just go to Martin Amini and just Google ice cream truck turf war, and my episode pops up.
That's gonna be bomb because later on in the show we're gonna test your ice cream knowledge.
Okay, yeah.
And we'll talk about why we're talking about ice cream because your family has like an ice cream business, right?
Right, grew up in a family of ice cream truck drivers. Oh man, yeah.
So you would have to work like growing up. You would have to like.
I mean, yeah, that would be if I wanted to eat. I had to help and sell ice cream. You know what I mean, my dad would take me to work on the ice cream truck, and like I would, from a young age, help out like selling ice cream and helping them load up the trucks You know what I mean? I thought, looking back, really it's a good way to like get your kid to,
work and learn.
Learn some things, you know what I mean?
So what's your favorite ice cream flavor?
I like cookie sandwich and cookies and cream.
Cookies and cream is a good one. Sean, what's your favorite ice cream?
Yeah, Sean, what's your favorite ice cream?
Might have to be vanilla bean and cookies and cream.
What a nerd. Who just likes vanilla?
Vanilla bean. Square.
Right now. That's for you, bro.
Sounds like a Republican.
Yeah, I like vanilla.
Vanilla bean.
Not even vanilla. Vanilla bean. You gotta be specific. What was the second one you said?
Cookies and cream.
Oh yeah, cookies and cream.
Yeah.
I've been leaning more towards the pistachio these days.
That's like a Persian swag.
It's I'm fancy, and I do also love a dulce de leche caramel swirl.
Those are good.
Ooh, yes, and salted caramel. Okay, we're digressing.
I don't have free ice cream, by the way. I know y'all looking at me like, yo, you like dulce de leche, cookies and cream. I'm like, I actually happen to have some cookies and cream right
That's why I brought it up. I'm like,
I don't got the. I mean, if you were to come to my house, I have a freezer and I could hook y'all up. But.
So is it like regular ice cream or is it like specialty?
No, it's mostly like if you're familiar with like the Good Humor products.
Oh yeah.
This is Good Humor ice cream, and we
that's
got multiple trucks, so we got the streets on lock. You know what I mean?
Oh, glad it's not Brooklyn. I heard about a story in Brooklyn where like people were complaining about the ice cream man that would come out, like the new people that moved in.
What are they like hood?
Yeah, like they moved into the hood. And the ice cream people would be, the ice cream truck drivers would just be out there because that's what they do.
Right.
But then the new people would be like, this ice cream truck is just making all this noise.
Oh really? Yeah, man. That's just the streets. You can't get mad at how they were acting before you got there. Like that's the culture.
Yeah.
Ice cream man gotta eat too, man. Hey man, you gonna move in, rent goes up, so the price on ice cream go up.
Right. Did you ever like sneak the ice cream sandwiches or like sneak the ice cream, or are you just like when your dad would have all this ice cream, would you like as a kid just eat a lot of ice cream?
Yeah, I didn't have to sneak. It was just like that was just one of the perks of being a child of an ice cream man.
And you stay so fit.
I mean, I do what I can. I need to down a couple pounds right now. You know what I mean?
Y'all would know if my family owned an ice cream truck.
Yeah.
Like it'd be like so.
I mean, I was probably one of the most popular kids in the neighborhood because I did have all the ice cream.
Yeah, that's
so,
what's up. I like you more because of ice cream. No.
Yeah, it's like I feel powerful.
Right. I'm like,
you want this cookies and cream? You gotta be nice to me.
That was gonna be the name of the show. I have to be honest. The ice cream man.
Ice cream man, yeah.
But then I was like, no, the Overachiever is better. Let's just go with what it is.
Yeah, well, I mean, that is probably the first transition in being like social and learning how to talk to people.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
You want some ice cream?
It wasn't like yeah.
I'm sure it helped with the ladies.
Yeah. I mean, it's a good practice I think to put your child to work. I'm a big fan of like child labor.
Would you be like taking girls ice cream sandwiches like?
Yeah, and then
like I brought you something.
And they be like, nah.
You know what? Bitch, I bought you ice cream. Okay, this is great. So tell us about the Overachievers comedy show. Like how it came about, what is it, where is it?
The Overachievers is a once-a-month show at the Draft House Theater. We showcase comedians from like HBO, Comedy Central. Like mainly now, I bring comedians from New York and LA. But the way it started was you've known me for a while. Like I've always had shows.
Yeah.
So a lot of times,
I always had shows.
I've always had shows. You gotta understand. I've always had shows. But now it's at a point where I have a lot of good relationships with people who've moved on to New York and LA, and I'll call them up. Call homies like Rob Hayes, who's gone on to do.
Shout out to Rob.
Shout out to Rob Hayes, man. He's one of the day ones. Like the first show I ever put together was actually my first month of comedy. I called him up, and he came from Atlanta and headlined my first show.
Yeah.
And this was back in 2012 in Avis Morgan. And fast forward to 2018, just did Jimmy Fallon, late night set.
Boom. And some Jordans, right?
Yeah, some Jordans, man. Fresh as hell.
Right.
Killing the game.
But
he'll come down to do the Overachievers, you know what I mean? Homies like Stavros Halkias, you know what I mean? Who's a DC comedy veteran, has gone out to New York and done great things, comes back. And then just off the strength of like his following, he tweets one time, sells out the show. So I gotta give credit to where credit's due. Like the show Overachievers is doing great, mainly because of the relationships that I've gained through doing comedy in DC. And
well, that's where it starts.
Yeah, you got. This is like the training ground for great comedy. And I think the Overachievers is really just a showcase of like pushing the culture forward, trying to showcase the new up and coming talent. You mean the new face?
Yeah, we support that wholeheartedly. The Overachievers Comedy Show with DJ Bo.
DJ Bo.
The man.
Yeah,
Your man. Right?
Day one. DJ Bo.
So it's like a DJ, you got Martin hosting,
right, I mean,
fresh faces.
Now we got a drummer now, Joey Dolan. He's our drummer. Yeah, man, we got a whole team. Like we got the photographer, you know, I gotta shout out Abby. Our social media guy, Phil.
Shout him out.
You know what I mean? The whole Overachiever squad.
Right. You know, this is y'all's show, actually. Right. You know, it's all about you guys. That's what's up. Okay, so we're going to transition to ask you about, like, comedy.
Yeah.
Because that's what kind of brought
I happen to know a couple of things about comedy.
You know, you got a few jokes. I heard you were funny.
I got a couple moves.
Right, I got the moves. So how long have you been doing comedy?
I'm going on 6 years this year.
Okay, boom.
Yeah.
Look, you guys, this is like millennial comedy.
Millennial? What does that mean?
That means you're like one of the younger.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, like this is the rocket ship into the future.
The new wave.
Yep, this is the new wave, and I love it. Okay, so what was your first experience?
First experience?
Yeah, doing comedy.
Performing? I remember it was June of 2012. This is like a month moving back from LA to DC, and the first spot I went up to was a spot called RFD.
Oh yeah.
And I walked in. I was wearing a Prada vest.
Oh shit! That was that LA in you.
I was feeling myself, man. I was determined to go on stage. I was so confident I was gonna go up. I brought 2 friends with me, not even signed up. Didn't even email. I was like, oh, it's an open mic? Bet.
Open for me. Boom.
And then I talked to a gentleman by the name of, I want to say Ralph Cooper.
Oh, I know him.
So, yeah.
He's a super puppy all-star.
You know what I mean? I want to say Ralph, I spoke to Ralph, or at the time he had a co-producer named Brad Ryan.
Yep.
It was either Brad, I think maybe it was even Brad, and I remember saying, hey man, I want to go up. And I was like, well actually the way it works is, you know, you have to email us, and a whole thing.
Okay.
And I was like, I don't think you get it, man. I'm from LA. I did this whole story about how I've been doing comedy in LA for I don't want to say for years, but I made it seem like I was the shit in LA.
Yeah, right. Had you done comedy?
In reality, no. In my mind, I'm like, I already brought 2 people with me. I ain't going back in the car and not doing comedy and hearing my friends clown me. So they were like, okay, oh, you from LA? Well, you can go up at the end.
Oh, you from LA? Oh, okay.
It was one of those. It was just so. Looking back, I was so delusional. It's so stupid. But that's all you got going for you when you start out.
Yeah.
Or you're like, yeah, I'm gonna be funny.
That'd be funny as hell.
And I remember going up, and it went well. It went really well. I remember Haywood was there. The guy named Eric Owusu, who's in LA now. And it was good enough to the point where I'm gonna keep doing it.
Yeah, it wasn't enough to throw you off like that.
Yeah. It was one of those experiences. Now I remember a girl came up to me after my set and she gave me her number. It was like one of those moments where I feel like everything lined up enough to trick me to keep doing it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like all the factors that needed to happen to be like, yo, you got this, happen, and then it just set me up for so much disappointment for so many years. It was never ever that good for years. Ever. That's never happened. A girl since then has never came up to me after a show and it's giving me her number. So it's like God playing a trick on me, oh yeah, you need to do this. And I was like, okay.
But you're gonna work for it.
And he gave me the best in the beginning and then took everything away from me. So now I have to work I'm always chasing that first moment.
You know what? I've heard that that's how people react to crack and heroin. The first time is the bomb.
Right.
And then they're like, forever.
Because you see what people are willing to sacrifice to chase that high.
Yeah.
That's sad. Why would you do that?
You lost all your shit.
Everything. That's really what comedy is. It's you're being a crackhead.
Yeah.
I'm saying the lifestyle, what you sacrifice. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You lose all your friends. You lose your family.
You ain't got no money.
You got no money. You know what I mean?
You might not even have a house.
Yeah, you can't get no girls. You know what I mean? For at least the beginning.
And then they see you on stage and they be like, okay, cute.
That's, once you level up and you get to the point where it's good shows. Because I remember taking girls to my first open mics and it was just so embarrassing.
Yeah.
They were literally scared. People were fighting in the mics and fists were being burned. I don't know if this is safe. I'm like, no, don't worry, I'm next.
Watch me though.
Watch me though.
Focus on me.
Yeah, focus on me. I know everyone ain't really bringing it tonight. but I'm gonna bring it. And it would go well, but I'm just saying, like, but now let's say I go up at the DC Improv or the Kennedy Center. It's just, that's a layup. You know what I mean? Come see me at the Kennedy Center.
Yeah, like, I'm already.
That's already the line. That's a great line.
Right.
You know what I mean? Check me out.
It was. I'm like, wow, you were like on the Kennedy Center stage. That's like major.
Yeah, it's cool. I mean, I've been very fortunate.
Mm-hmm.
Fortunate, I'm from the area, and the Kennedy Center is in our town.
Yeah.
And the fact that the comedy is being well received right now, where the Kennedy Center is opening its doors to local comics. Because a lot of times they turn to the local scene for openers.
Oh, okay.
So like if someone's traveling, like the Kennedy Center will sometimes like email the comedian like a list of names and their videos. So a lot of times the way I get my shows currently is comedians will click on my video and they're like, oh, I like this guy.
Oh, okay.
And so for different reasons, you know what I mean? Sometimes like they just like me because I'm different.
Yeah.
For just conflicting reasons, they don't want a comedian that kind of talks about what they talk about. So
yeah.
It's not a lot of Bolivian, Iranian,
right.
comedians, so that's kind of my lane.
Right.
So all you other ice cream man comedians, you better check in when you come to DC. You know what I mean? Take me out for coffee.
Turf boy.
Bagels. That was a 6ix9ine reference to Kashi. Anyone that doesn't get that. Because they were like, why is he telling us to check in? That's a joke, all right? Relax.
6ix9ine is a menace.
Yo, I saw that interview though, and it was one of the most entertaining and like, I didn't know who he was prior to that Breakfast Club interview, but it made me want to listen to his music. I listened to his music and I was like, yo, I actually fuck with this music.
No!
You know, see, you don't like it, but I'm of the young way, like, I feel like it reminds me of like, here's the thing, like people don't talk trash about like mumble rap. Like, it's not about what they're saying, bro. It's an energy.
Don't get me started.
You know what I mean? It's like you want to be in the gym and you want to do a bench press. You don't want to listen to no R&B, Brian McKnight. You want to listen to fucking Tekashi 6ix9ine.
So wait, okay, so if I'm listening to it,
like bench press.
So I'm not supposed to be listening to the words.
No, it's a vibe. It's not about like it's not about what they're saying. It's about, again, you can't listen to it before you go to church. I'm saying you want to listen to it before you go do a show.
Right,
you know what I mean?
To hype you up.
Get you hyped. Right? Like, yo, make you want to tell other comedians, yo, you check in when he comes. You know what I mean? I'm like, yeah. He makes sense.
So is that like, so Cardi B falls in this category?
Sure, yeah.
Okay, because I'm working on that one. I'm trying to get better.
I know the Cardi album just dropped. I didn't listen to it, but I can only imagine it's just turn up music.
Sean said.
I mean, I don't mess with Cardi B like that, but I'm like, damn.
But it's turn up.
It's turn up music, man. And people gotta chill out when it comes to critiquing art, man. It's like, you gotta understand, this shit is like, it's open-ended and it's subjective. And, man, we ain't all gonna be around forever, man. We need to just stop hating and just gravitate towards what you like. And if you don't like it, man, just like, instead of saying, man, I don't fuck with this, be like, you should listen to this.
Yeah.
Instead of
offer up suggestions.
You know what I mean?
A Martin moment. That's a Martin moment.
That's why I'm on some like next level. You know what I mean? My therapist is helping me level up.
Elevate your mind.
Level of thoughts, you know what I mean?
Okay, I'm gonna take this into account and listen to some Cardi. I'm gonna listen with an open heart, and I'm gonna maybe go to the gym.
Listen to it on either to the gym or to the club or before like a high energy situation.
Okay.
Because then it gives it more context. Context is everything.
Context is everything.
You can't, you know what I mean? You can't be listening to it in a situation where you want to just be chill.
Right, like at work, I'm like, oh my God, this is horrendous.
It's ignorant for a reason. You know what I mean? it's supposed to be our release.
Write that down. It's ignorant for a reason.
It's a release from our mundane lives. We're putting someone on a pedestal to be ratchet.
Yeah.
Like that's the one.
And I think that's where I have a problem. I'm like, why are we doing that?
Because society says we can't do that, but she's winning, and we like to see someone win. It's like our alter ego. That's what I'm saying, and we gotta respect that.
Okay, we're dropping knowledge on me. See, that's why you need the millennials in your life. Okay, now we're gonna switch it again. We talk about how great you are. Okay, what was your worst experience on stage?
I mean, the past 6 years have been tough. I'm not going front.
Let's talk about the best.
Oh man, it's been a battle, man. Because obviously you want to showcase the wins. That's all you see on the gram.
More wins.
More wins. But the reality is, it takes so many L's to get to the wins.
Yeah.
You gotta go through the L's. And yeah, I've taken so many L's.
Do you have like one that stands out? That
I had a
just,
situation like 2 weeks ago.
Oh,
Like, yeah, you know, it's on my Instagram story right now. No, but I had a situation where I got booked to feature at this spot in Frederick, Maryland, and
shout out to Frederick.
Yeah, shout out to Frederick.
Maybe not after this story though.
I mean, it's all love because every experience is a growing experience, whether it's good or bad. You know what I mean? See, one thing I've been trying to tell people, I don't understand why everyone's trying to be happy all the time. Because there's nothing wrong with being sad. Being sad gives you context for what happy is. Because if you've never been sad before, you won't appreciate it.
Right. Deep. Mark moment.
That's how I feel. Because as a comic, we're sad all the time. But we do have these sweet moments, these Kennedy Center moments.
Right.
These, you know what I mean? These like DC Improv or Comedy Central showcase, these laugh track, True TV,
right.
flown out to LA. But it takes these L's in Frederick, Maryland, you know what I mean? Where you go on stage for 20 minutes, 25, and they don't fuck with you like that. They looking at you like, why are you here? What are you even talking about right now?
I'm here to tell these jokes that are about 15 moments.
We don't care about Tekashi 6ix9ine.
Right.
We don't care about your feelings about that. But it takes those moments and those experiences to fuel you to even go in deeper with how you feel.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna just take that experience and go even harder. And if you don't fuck with me, then that's just what it is. Like I can't, all I can do is just be true to myself, man. And if it's like there's like a group of people that fuck with me, then I appreciate them. If there's a group of people who don't fuck with me, I'm like, I wasn't for them. I wasn't their Cardi B. Listen, Cardi B is the most popular artist in the world right now. And you don't like her. And it's okay, because there's 10 other million people that follow her on IG right now. And she's winning, but there's people who don't like her.
I wanna like her.
But you don't have, that's the key is you don't have to, and it's all good.
I don't.
You know what I mean?
I feel pressure. I feel like FOMO
that's
if I don't
society,
like her.
you don't gotta do that.
Okay.
And Cardi B's gonna be good, and you're gonna be good. Everyone's gonna go their separate ways.
I feel like
the same way people don't have to like Martin and Amini. They don't have to. But Overachievers right now, we selling out all the shows.
Hey, boom. So I'm
gonna gravitate towards the people who fuck with me. You know what I mean? And I'm gonna keep selling tickets to people who fuck with me. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because that's who's.
And they're gonna tell people who never heard about me, and they're gonna come, and they're gonna come with an open mind. And it's my responsibility to put on a show where they're gonna hopefully appreciate it. They're gonna come back, and that's how you get the people that you want. You know what I mean? I'm not gonna cater myself to Frederick, Maryland folks, and there's nothing wrong with them.
Yeah, God bless them.
They could be into some, whatever swag they're into. Like that's Hagerstown flavor, whatever. It's all good. Vanilla bean swag. It's all good. I'm not mad at Vanilla Beans. You know what I mean? We got Vanilla Bean dude behind the camera right now. That's my homie.
And we love him.
Yeah, I appreciate every flavor.
Vanilla bean.
A little vanilla bean.
Love how you bringing it back. So that's called a callback to the ice cream. Guys.
So it's all good though. It's not. You're not gonna win everyone over, but as long as you have more W's than L's, I think you'll be alright.
Okay. More W's. Let's keep the show that shirt one more time. Yeah. More of those. Okay, what motivates you to write? So you hit the stage. You said 12 times a week?
Yeah, it's like roughly 10 to 12 times a week. I mean, again, it took me a while to be in a situation where I can get up that many times. And, as you know, or some people may not know, it's hard to get opportunities to just be on stage.
Yeah.
Like it takes years to just be in a situation where you can walk in a room and you're like, oh, I got you. But,
right. Wow.
Again, I say that I have to say that it took me close to 6 years to be in that situation. For the first 3-4. I was barely getting that type of opportunity. So I had to, you work on the craft, and hopefully there's enough people that like you, respect your craft, that see the advantage of having you on the show.
Boom! I like having you around. So when you write, do you write as you're going? So you hit a show and then you oh, I know how to make this joke better? Or are you driving and you oh snap, let me put this little note in my phone? When do you actually plan your jokes?
Yeah, it's a combination of what you just said. It's for example, the situation in Frederick where I bombed. It was a rough set, right, where they didn't like me. And I had to drive home for 45 minutes thinking about that L, and I was well, You know, how does that make me feel?
Right. Do they still affect you?
Am I sad? Well, I had to really think about it. Like, am I sad that they didn't like me, or am I sad that I didn't make them like? Is it on me?
Oh, okay. Like, where?
Is that growth? Because now I'm being true to myself and leaning into my new stuff that might not be for everyone.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Just because Frederick, so here's the thing. Like, so that Sunday I went up, it didn't go well. And then like that Tuesday, I was at the DC Improv opening for a comedian, and it was for 300 people, and I did great. Now, because I did great, does that mean I'm the greatest comedian ever? I don't think so. But because I had a tough set in Frederick, does that mean I'm the worst comedian?
Right.
I don't think so.
Right.
So you gotta learn how to balance
and just put it all into perspective.
It's context. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? So you know. There'd be moments where I be on fire at Big Hunt in DC. Like, I just got it's just like I got the guy in the palm of my hand, and sometimes you do feel like you the GOAT. Like, oh, I mean, I'm the next big thing.
Right.
But then you have to remind yourself, like, you know, it takes those Frederick experiences to be like, you know what, you know, you just had a good night.
To keep you humble.
Yeah. You had a good night. Let's go back to the drawing board and keep like, you know, sharpening the sword.
Okay, that's good. Okay, so now we're moving to like the deeper question. Okay, so there's one question I ask all my comics that come on the show is, do all laughs matter? And I mean that in the sense that, like, sometimes you go out, you get big chuckles, sometimes you go out, you get little chuckles, you get the big raucous laughter where the whole room is cracking up, or sometimes it may be a few people here, a few people there. Are you satisfied every time you leave a room if you get a laugh?
If I get a laugh?
Yeah, like,
I mean, yeah, you hope to get a laugh. You know what I mean? Like, you know, and I hope to multiply that by 10. I hope I get 10 laughs. You know, but yeah, it's, you know, I'm in a very experimental stage right now where like I feel like I've gone through, at least here in DC, like I'm very fortunate where like people know like, oh, okay, Martin, I've already done a few things, so now I'd rather focus on like creating a new, like, what's my next thing, like on the craft side.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it's like now I'm kind of on some pushing buttons type shit.
Oh, okay.
So like I had this new joint where like, you know, like I go, I'm a feminist, and so that's why like when they found out the YouTube shooter was female, part of me was like, good for her. You know what I mean?
Yeah, right.
Breaking down stereotypes.
Right.
Anything to put their mind to it. You know what I mean? So like I said that last night, and the crowd was like, no.
Too soon.
And I was like, shut up. I said, this is a free comedy show. You take this free, you take this shit to the face. And they're like, they started laughing. And I'm like, it's 1 a.m. It's a packed room. And I'm like, look, man, I gotta be able to take my shots. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
when can you take them?
Right, and this is like, you understand, like y'all walked into a room where it was a promoted show, there's a microphone, it says underground comedy, and y'all in your feet like, shut up.
Yeah,
Shut up.
Don't be soft.
But again, you know, just give me that. That's why I don't even write stuff on social media like that. Like, I don't do no Twitter or Facebook stuff, because it's context, man.
Yeah.
If I already say that on Facebook or Twitter, it's a different vibe.
Yeah, it's now you got comments.
Because you gotta understand, prior to me saying that, I was doing well for 4 minutes. But I wanted to explore a new.
Take it to the left.
Yeah, like do some like just. Maybe that's how I really feel. Maybe that's not how. Maybe I'm just joking straight up. But that's for me to like. That's for y'all to, you know. It's an open-ended thing. Like,
yeah.
You know, let me figure it out.
And it's like when you're doing comedy, when do you get those chances to push them?
That's what I'm saying.
You know.
That's what I'm saying. Like, if I were to do the same 5 or 10 minutes or whatever my rotation of material that always does well, it's like, what am I really doing? Like, that's not really how you grow.
Right.
And you know.
Oh, how I feel. # fuck sex. But we'll talk about that another time.
I mean, but that's like every time I'm chilling in a room where there's comedy, and like I'll hear comics do the same stuff, and I'm like, I just want to walk out. It's like, yo, I already know what this is going to be. But then there's other comics who like
surprise you, even with the same material.
Constantly pushing the envelope, and those are the comics I want to like I perk up, and I just want to be like, oh, what's this line?
Yeah, like what are you talking about?
And I want to be the guy who's like doing that. You know, I want to be the guy who's like, well, you know, comics are like, you know what I mean? Just like be the guy who's like, at least lead by example.
Yeah.
I remember when I was starting out, man, there were so many great comics that I got to watch and like learn from. You know what I mean? And if I didn't have that kind of set the blueprint for where I could take it.
Yeah, that's great. Well, we wish you the best. Okay, last but not least, is it important to mentor new comics in the comedy scene?
I think that's like a case by case. Because I think you can't just,
like taking them all in, like, you want some cookies?
like I never had like a straight up mentor, but I was able to. There was a room I used to go to called the Arlington Draft House Green Room. Saturday night, that open mic, and it was a place,
Randolph and
Andy Klein.
Yeah. Yep.
And so that was probably, in my opinion, probably one of the best rooms DC had, where it was the most fair and balanced in terms of who would get on and who would not.
Oh, okay.
And it was where comedians would go, and they would have a sign-up sheet, and 40 to 50 comics would sign up, and they would select 18 based on different criteria, whether it's veterans or comics who got bumped the previous week. But they put the list according to what they thought was the best line in that out of those 40. And I would not get picked very often. But I remember wanting to be a part of that group and staying, even though I didn't get picked, and watching the show and watching the people who they would put up 3rd, 4th, 5th, and 6th, which were usually the best ones, and seeing what they brought to the table. And not just by watching some of these comedians, you just like, oh shit, that's really good comedy.
Yeah, like, oh, that's murder.
And just having that as like an example to a blueprint to like, oh, I should strive for that.
Yeah.
Right? As opposed to going to some spots you go and you just see people fucking around. You should never learn what really good comedy is. You know what I mean? Unless you're paying for $30 tickets to see go to DC Improv.
Right.
Who wants to do that? So, as far as mentoring goes, I think it's important for like comics to go through their struggles the first 2-3 years, and then like once I see a comic pass that 3-year mark, I might say a few things to him, like, because it shows that he wants to do it. After 3 years, like, all right,
like you
in it enough to like you want to pursue it, or like you want to like you wouldn't and go through endure all that for 3 years and
just to be like,
don't want to exactly. But yeah, so that's kind of like my take on it, is like, waiting to see whether or not they're gonna stand the test of time, like, and stick this shit out, because it's not for everybody.
Right, it's tough.
It's not.
It's tough, especially if you're on a roll like you talked about, where you're like doing well, and then you hit that wall of like a bomb, and you're just like, what?
There's people who probably think like I always do good, and it's like, bro, you don't even know what happened to Frederick Lester. You know what I mean? Like, you don't even know.
And I just kind of like look at certain comments when they talk about that they always kill, because I'm just like,
I mean, it's like,
Did you? Because when I saw you, you didn't really kill. Okay, thanks, Mark. Thanks for entertaining our comedy questions.
Okay.
Last but not least, did I knock everybody over? Okay. We're going to play a little game, but I have to move my computer so you can't. Sean, am I still good?
You're good.
Okay. The Ice Cream Man, we're going to ask you questions about ice cream. So every time I have a guest on, we like to play a little game at the end. Just to test your knowledge, something that relates to you in your life. So, are you ready to take the ice cream quiz?
Let's do it.
Number 1, vanilla
bean.
is by far the most popular flavor of ice cream in America. True or false?
I feel like that's true, because I can see that being like sold like on a lot of different levels. You know what I mean? Like ice cream sandwich and all. They need vanilla.
This is true. And Neapolitan.
Right. There's so many combinations that vanilla is included in. Like the ice cream bar, it's like chocolate coated but vanilla ice cream.
See, boom, and guess what? You are right.
I mean, you already know.
Yeah, you're an overachiever.
I'm in the Illuminati.
You just got a double win right now. Based on sales, it's about 3 times more popular than chocolate, the second favorite ice cream. Okay, so now you got a 1. Okay, number 2. Which ice cream company has a flavor graveyard that includes Vermonti Python and Cool Britannia? Ben & Jerry's, Bluebell, or Breyers?
What's the second one?
Vermonti Python.
I never even heard of. No.
Bluebell.
I never even heard of Bluebell. But if it's feel like Ben and Jerry's has the weirdest names, so I feel like, but I never even heard of the middle one, so. Is the middle one a real thing?
Yeah, Bluebell's like a really
Look, I'm
popular
telling you
one.
right now,
It's
if
like
my
the best
mom was
ice cream
here, my
ever.
mom would be like, she'll walk out. She'd be
Really?
like, this interview's
Is it like
Bluebell's like the best ice cream.
Is it
It's like
East
a
Coast?
it's southern.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
See,
Yeah.
I'm an East Coast.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, so Ben and Jerry's are Briars.
Hey Mo, if you don't got it in DC, then it ain't a real thing, Mo. It don't exist. You know what I mean? So that's how I'm not gonna answer this question. We don't talk about no Southern ice cream. It's all about red hot sausages and pickles. You know what I mean?
And mambo sauce?
Yeah, mambo sauce flavored Neapolitan sandwich.
Right.
I mean, just for the sake, I don't know what it is, so it'll probably be the one in the middle that I never heard
Okay,
of.
that is incorrect. You should have gone with your gut. The answer is Ben and Jerry's. The Vermont headquarters features actual tombstones for the retired flavors. They don't play around. They don't play around. Number 3. What's a good way to relieve the pain of ice cream headaches or brain freeze? Hold your breath, shut your eyes tightly, or press your tongue against the roof of your mouth.
What was the first one?
Hold your breath, shut your eyes tightly, or press your tongue against the roof of your mouth.
I haven't done any of those because it's in my blood. We don't get brain freeze. Family. I'll go with the first one.
Hold your breath.
Yeah.
That is incorrect.
It's the middle one.
It is press your tongue against the roof of your mouth. Even though you feel the pain in your forehead, the blood vessels that trigger it are in the
That
roof
sounds
of your
suspect.
mouth. Yeah, brain freeze right now.
Yeah, I don't know what you're talking about.
Right. Now we're gonna be like, tongue in the roof of the mouth. Okay. Number 4. An ice cream empire began when Tom Carvel's truck got a flat tire and he had to sell blank from a parking lot. Root beer floats because he had no milk, ice cream without cones, or half melted ice cream.
These are very specific questions.
Yeah.
Like, this has nothing to do with the trade. Like, this is like history. Like, wait.
Use your ice cream instincts.
That would be very impressive if you were selling some half melted ice cream, but I don't think that's the case. So that's not. Oh, you indicated that.
It is, okay.
Yeah, we're gonna take that one.
I'm gonna give you some wins. That was in 1934. The crowds loved the melted stuff, so he switched his business from hard to soft ice cream.
Whoa.
Right.
That's how soft ice cream came about because of that?
Because he was just like, it's hot and it melted. I don't know what to do. Okay, number 5. Ice cream stored in your freezer can develop a lumpy, unpleasant texture. How can you avoid that?
The STDs of ice cream. You need to see a dermatologist, huh?
You need a cream for that?
Yeah.
Okay. Set your freezer.
Cream for your ice cream. That would be actually kind of like a. I mean, it sounds disgusting, but like imagine if like they had like STD ice cream with like little, but like it was like different, like pistachios or cherries and stuff, and then you put cream on it, like chocolate. You know what I mean? Or like
And it was just like melt ice.
Yeah.
That's disgusting. Sean, would you eat it?
I mean, what?
You talking about baby?
I mean talking about eat it how?
Do
I put it on some-
herpes flavored ice cream? Herpes flavored ice cream. That's hilarious.
As long as it's vanilla bean or
What is the vanilla bean
Vanilla
base?
bean base.
Right, okay. The answer is, set your freezer to a warmer temperature. How do you cure that ice cream STD?
Oh, right.
Set your freezer to a warmer temperature. Store the ice cream in the freezer door, or don't let the ice cream soften and then refreeze.
Don't let the ice cream soften.
And then refreeze.
Yeah, you definitely don't want to let it soften and then refreeze it. To get rid of those things, the STD.
To avoid it.
Oh, to avoid it.
STD ice cream.
Yeah, I think it's that last one.
Boom!
Yeah.
To keep cold, stable temperature, store your ice cream in the middle of the freezer, not the door. Okay? Avoid those STDs. Number 6. The ice cream cone was popularized at the St. Louis World's Fair in 1904 when A vendor was inspired by a child eating an ice cream cone out of a party hat. Eating ice cream out of a party hat. Number 2, an ice cream salesman ran out of dishes and joined forces with a waffle vendor. Or Teddy Roosevelt wanted to eat ice cream without those damn little spoons. He's achieved.
No. Let's go with the first one.
A vendor was inspired by a child eating ice cream cone out of a hat? Ice cream out of a party hat? That's
No. That don't sound like the right one.
Where you going with it?
Let's go with the last one.
Teddy Roosevelt and the spoons. Those damn spoons. Incorrect. So the first cones were waffle cones, not the sugar cones that are popular today. So the guy did see the man and was like, hey, what you doing with that? Let me borrow that.
Yeah.
Fold that up. Okay. Just a few more questions. Here's one.
Okay.
True or false? Haagen-Dazs is Danish for creamy taste.
Okay.
True or false?
Haagen-Dazs is no, I don't. False.
Wins, more wins. It's actually a nonsense sound invented to sound vaguely Danish.
Yeah, it's not even Danish, I think. Haagen-Dazs.
It was created in the Bronx in 1961.
Yeah.
I thought it was like from over there.
I thought that was like someone's last name.
Yeah.
And it's not. They were just like Haagen-Dazs.
I actually for like a month I had my own flavor ice cream called the Amini Delight.
Yummy. What was it?
It was well, I found a farm in northern Maryland that made their own organic ice cream. So it was like unbranded, so I put my own like labels on it. But then there's like, you gotta get into permits and like making sure that it's like sanitary and stuff. So I was like, I ain't trying to get into all that.
What was the flavor? Vanilla bean?
It had peanut butter in that, No, they had all types of, they had straw, like, but it was just so fresh and natural from the farm. It was bomb. And if I would have like stuck with it, it would have been a great, like, I think I would have had a lot of fun like marketing it, branding it, because it looked dope. This is like 10, 15 years ago.
Amini's still like, I would have tried. Sean, would you have vanilla bean Amini's still like?
Yes. Amini Delight. To the face.
Okay, we just got 2 questions left. This one, you better call him that shirt, okay? Which ice cream company gets its slogan from the number of days in a month? Cold Stone Creamery, Ben & Jerry's, or Baskin Robbins?
You said gets their
slogan from the number of days in a month.
I want to say Baskin Robbins.
Boom! 31 flavors. Good job. Okay, last question. How is gelato different from ice cream? Gelato must contain fruit. Gelato is more dense and less airy. Gelato is served at colder temperatures.
I think it's the middle one.
Sean?
Yep.
Middle one?
Yep.
Very good. Gelato is turned more slowly than ice cream, making it denser and less airy, and it also contains less fat. Thank you for playing the ice cream game. Oh, one more question. Last bonus question. If you get this one right,
I win a Corvette.
you win. You just win.
Okay. Like it's not in the budget.
Yeah. Right.
Come back next year, we might have surprises. Yeah.
Okay. Freeze-dried astronaut ice cream was actually eaten in space. True or false?
Freeze-dried ice cream? Probably true.
True!
Yeah.
It was eaten on Apollo 7, but it turns out the astronauts didn't like it. So they were like, yeah, no, we're not doing it.
We're good.
Thank you for playing the ice cream quiz, Martin. You win because you got the answer right.
That's right. More wins, baby.
And I also want to thank you for coming on the show today. Did you have fun?
I had so much fun.
You know what? It's great. We want to wish you continued success with Overachievers Comedy Show and podcast and flying all over the world at Kennedy Center.
Yeah, come check out the show.
When's the next one?
Next week, next Thursday.
Next Thursday. I'm coming. I'll be there with Sean. Just tipping around. We want to thank Sean. Thank you, Sean.
Sean.
You did that. You did that over there. We want to thank Blue Microphones and Alexa and myself, ChicagoSlim, for just hosting us on this ride. This is Super Puppy Podcast, and we are out.
Peace.
ChicagoSlim coming with the win. Super Puppy Podcast, Super Puppy Podcast, the best podcast, Super Puppy Podcast, the best. This is Super Podcast, Puppy Podcast, the best podcast. Better than the rest, Super Puppy Podcast. Bust your shots in your ass, Super Puppy Podcast. Don't sleep, y'all.